about to plug your friend, PhD to be pod.
Yeah. Yeah. So one of my friends from TCU, she's awesome. She has a podcast and it's called PhD to be. So she talks about different aspects of grad life. And so she interviewed me to hear the science perspective because she's in English. And so that was one of her
Hmm.
podcasts. And then she plugged our podcast on the pod.
Oh,
So
that's so awesome.
yeah, it was so nice of her. So yeah, maybe we'll get a surge of Fort Worthian listeners.
Well, they are at 14% of all of Texas.
Pretty good.
That's number one. That's number one, tied with Dallas,
Ah,
1% above Houston.
wow. We're getting all the big cities.
I know. We Bookalytics has taken off in a way that I would have never expected. Have you listened to the podcast PhD to be?
Oh yeah, I love her podcast. It's awesome.
No, but like your
Oh,
episode.
no, I haven't listened to my episode. I don't want to hear myself talk.
Oh my gosh, you're so crazy. Well, we should plug it on our socials.
Okay.
Yeah, that'll be great. Did you look at the reel that I made for Ella Enchanted? Would you rather be obedient or be a squirrel?
Um, Gosh. I mean, obedient, you're still a person. And now we know how to break the curse of obedience. I don't know how you'd break the curse of being a squirrel.
I don't know, but that is something that we need to get into, talking about the loose ends.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because there are, even at the end of the book, many obedient people and many squirrels
We don't
left.
care about them. We only
Okay.
care about Ella. No loose ends. We just cut them off.
Well, that's it. So our last episode was super long. I don't know that we should spend too much time dilly-dallying because I have some bonus material for us.
Oh, exciting.
Yeah. So I don't
All
want to
right.
waste too much time on the front end.
Okay. All right. Maybe we should just get straight to it.
I think so.
Okay, cool. Well, welcome to Bookalicious, a podcast where two sisters chat about books we're reading. I'm Chrissy.
And I'm Candice.
And today we're finishing one of our all-time favorite books, Ella Enchanted. It stood up to the
I,
test of time.
I was like, perfect book. I
Yeah,
already know five
me
bookies
too. Yeah,
coming
all
down
of
the pipe.
it. Easy. This one might be my favorite one that we've read yet.
Just top to finish, like in terms of the writing style, so well written,
So fun.
so fast paced.
Mm-hmm. But there's
You
still a lot
you're
of
not
depth.
still a lot of depth. Yeah, a lot of character development, a lot of interesting questions posed.
Mm-hmm.
Very tight book, very tight.
So good. She brought
All
this
right.
one to our
Well,
writing group a few
she
times.
she definitely did. This has seen a few iterations because it is just a perfect masterpiece.
Wow.
So we left off with finding out that Dame Olga was going to be Ella's stepmom and Hattie would be her sister.
A frightening discovery indeed.
How would you feel about that?
I mean, that would just be so awful because it's like your arch nemesis who you escaped. You left on foot for a 10-day journey with no food and no money so you could escape her. And now your dad's marrying her mom, and it's not even like he likes her mom. It's only
Yeah,
the money. Like there's really nothing good about the whole situation.
no upside.
No, I don't think so.
Well, I guess the upside is that she has somewhere to live.
I think Ella would be okay going back with the elves. She'd be happy having her vagabond life, I think.
So we'll get into this in a little bit, but one of my overarching questions is why don't oh my God,
Mandy?
Mandy, I was gonna say Maddie. I was like, that's not it. Why don't Mandy and Ella just run away and be cooks together?
Well, they think about it at the very end. You mean when, okay, so after they get married?
Yeah, when everything starts going really bad. And they think it's like the very end. And I'm like, this is the first thing I would have done because they're very skilled. And Mandy's a fairy.
Yeah. Um, I don't know. I mean, that's a good question. Yeah, I don't know, because it's not really even their home anymore. It's someone else's home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ella's arguably a slave versus being a servant somewhere else. So she would be better off leaving.
That's a good question because I mean the dad doesn't even respond to her letter for 6 months. So I don't know if he'd even know, really.
Yeah.
Maybe- Well, maybe for Ella, it's like that would maybe be so much of a step down in some ways for her to like be Sir Peter's daughter and now everyone knows she's a servant because right now no one really knows.
Yeah.
But like I don't think Ella would necessarily care, but maybe that's the reason they don't go.
Is she rolling the dice waiting for her dad to find her a rich old man?
No, she's waiting for Char. I
I
don't know.
mean,
That's a good question.
because I that was one of the things that I was wondering. I was like, what would make them stay? And part of me would think, okay, she stays the first 6 months because she's writing to her boyfriend, she's having a good time, and she's waiting on her dad.
Yeah,
So there's like an ounce of hope. But once
right.
he's like, I'm just gonna find you a rich old man. But maybe getting married to a rich old man is better than being a servant forever.
I mean, probably. I guess, but actually, what you just said, so the first 6 months, she was waiting for her dad to respond, and that was her ounce of hope. And then the next 6 months, she was waiting for Lucinda to come back, and that was her ounce of hope. So maybe if that didn't work out, which it didn't, they would maybe eventually they would have left.
That's possible. But even with Lucinda, she could come back and she could be a servant somewhere else. But maybe what you're saying is like her reputation of being pauper would be, even if she wasn't cursed, she still couldn't be a princess because she has now officially been a pauper.
Maybe. Yeah, I mean, that's a really good question. I don't know. I don't think the book, I think, I guess that could be one possible flaw is like the housemaid, there was nowhere else for Nina to go. Or
Yeah,
whatever. Was it Nina? No,
Millie.
Millie. Yeah, for Millie to go. But Ella, it's like, yeah, it does seem like there should be other options.
Yeah. Or
Or,
like
mhm.
tell Mandy about the order that Hattie made for Arita and go be bestie innkeeper in Iortha. That sounds great.
Could do you think Ella would be able to do that though? Because I think she still had the order to not be friends. Oh, but you're saying Mandy counter order?
Yeah, undo it.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, that's a good point. Um, I don't know. Very good question. Yeah. I don't have much. Unless Mandy feels some sort of like loyalty to like Lady Eleanor and her whole family, but like it does just feel like it's a totally new family now.
Yeah.
New place. Yeah. Yeah.
It
Uh,
seems like in the year that they had to put their noggins together, they could have, because I understand the first 6 months, you're waiting it out, seeing. Once you see, okay, this is not getting better. And I could understand waiting the next 6 months maybe for Lucinda. And you're like, well, I'm halfway here. Let me just figure it out before I do something crazy. But it seems that they could have found better plans. Now, maybe what it is that Ella's worried wherever she goes, she's just going to cause pain for people. So she doesn't want to go to Arita. Maybe that's the first place that they'll look, she thinks.
yeah. I don't know.
I
I don't feel
mean,
like they would. I don't feel like they're that quick or that that good of memory.
I feel like Hattie would.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe Hattie would. I had thought of something else too. Oh, I guess like if you go out and now you market yourself as a servant girl, it's like, okay, well now you really are a servant girl versus staying in the house. It's like I'm just being abused. But like I deserve
Yeah.
to actually live here,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
So, and she doesn't really want to be a servant girl.
Right. Questions for Gail.
Yeah, that'd be a great question for Gail.
Yeah. Hopefully she comes on the pod.
Oh, that would
Would
literally be the dream.
I would die if we got Gail on the pod, even for 5 minutes.
The
Die
pod would have
happy.
peaked. Forget the housemaid.
Yeah,
That's the
forget it.
real.
It's like, oh my God, we have Gail in the house.
Oh my gosh. That'd be such a dream. It would be kind of fun since neither of us have read Ogre Enchanted. We could do that one.
Yes.
That could be fun.
Oh,
New for
that would
both
be
of us.
fun. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we have more time to postulate and think of our questions for Gail for the interview for when she comes here one day,
Oh,
when we're really
perfect.
famous.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. I would love that.
Yeah. I would love that too. But we need to get into these chapter summaries.
Okay. Well, I think I only have like two or three. So
Okay.
we did most of it the
Perfect.
first time. So I think it'll be a little bit shorter.
Okay.
Okay. So like we said, we left off with Ella finding out that her father is going to marry Dame Olga. And this next set of chapters from chapter 20 to 25, we have their wedding and then the beginning life after, which we've kind of already talked about a little bit, but I'll just read my summary. So father and Dame Olga get married, and who's there except Lucinda? She gives them the gift of eternal love, which means they will always love each other until the day they die. Ella and Char find each other in like the attic of the castle and go on an adventure together because they're both avoiding the wedding. They look for a secret passageway, have a great conversation together. There's definitely hints that they both like each other, but they don't really realize it, or at least they don't say it explicitly. And then
Mm-hmm.
find out that Prince Char is going to Aortha for a year for peaceful delegate stuff. Um, After the wedding, father returns to his merchant travels, and Ella lives out her servitude in Dame Olga's house. Ella and Char exchange letters for 6 months before Char confesses that he loves her and wants to marry her. Ella is at first ecstatic because she also loves Char and she wants to escape Dame Olga, but then she realizes that she'll be a big threat to Char and to the country. So she writes Char a letter back that says she has eloped with an old rich man who she loves for his money. And in all these letters, she says that her affection had all been a facade. And I was reading your letters out loud to the family, and we were all laughing at all the things you said about yourself and all those things.
Uh,
It was heartbreaking. That was so
I
hard to read.
hate that. I
Me
hate reading that
too.
every time.
It was like I was reading it for the first time. I was like, oh my gosh, that's so sad.
Ugh.
Man. Okay, but then Ella tells Mandy what she did, and Mandy says that she did the right thing, even though it was hard. And to try to bring justice for Ella's curse, she summons Lucinda and convinces Lucinda to try being a squirrel and being obedient for 3 months to see if her gifts really are so nice. And Lucinda does it.
Mm-hmm.
That's where we leave off. Gosh, yeah, that letter to Char, it made me so sad. I was so angry.
I know. I was like, we can't find a way out of this.
I know. Okay, so what do you think? Was that the right choice? Is there anything else you could think of for her to do?
I thought Gail did a great job having Ella go through all the scenarios
Yeah.
and making it feel pretty watertight
Yeah. She really
because
is a danger.
she is a danger. And at best, she gets locked away in a tower.
Right. And she's like,
And that's,
Rapunzel, what a fun throwback. Or,
yes,
fall out.
yes, which I did have a question about that when we get there. Well, maybe
Okay.
we just have it now.
Sure, go
Who
for
is Rapunzel in this world? Is she another
it.
princess?
I think it's the same story as the Rapunzel we know because she also has a story of like Hansel and Gretel.
Are these people like, are these real fairy tales? Because she's in a fairy tale. So are these just like historical stories?
I think there's actually fairy tales because her mom would tell her fairy tales. I think it feels like make believe.
Okay.
That was my read on it, but I don't know. You're raising good questions. I actually have no idea.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Okay.
Good question.
But yeah, so I think Gail does a good job making it feel pretty watertight.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
couldn't come up with a different scenario.
Devastating.
I
So, and
know.
what made it even sadder was she started writing her initial response of like, yes, I love you so much. And then she had to tear it up. Oh,
Oh,
it was so
hate that.
sad. And what
So
made it even
sad.
sadder, well, let's see, is this in this part? I think it
Where
is.
Char reads his stuff, because no.
Yes, where, well, no, where, yeah, where Ella sees Char receiving the letter. No, I guess,
Yeah,
is that the next part?
that's the next part.
Okay, we'll talk about it then. But that was also
Yeah.
devastating. Oh,
So sad.
yeah.
Okay, well, let's go back to happier moments. We're
Was
at
there
the
a happier
wedding.
moment? Was it
We're at the
happy?
wedding. Well, when Char and Ella get to go on a date, then
That
yes.
was really cute. That was so happy. You're right.
That was so cute. Okay, so I have a cringer cute.
Oh, okay.
So this is on chapter 20, the first page. And Mom Olga is talking about what life's going to be after they get married. Her eyes followed Father, who was crossing her parlor to gaze out the window. And who will lift my desolation? He asked his back to her. Wait. Okay. Sorry. Let me start over. So she's saying that the girls won't go back to school after the wedding. They have learned enough. We shall stay here together, and you must all endeavor to lighten my desolation when my husband is away. Her eyes followed Father, who was crossing her parlor to gaze out the window. And who will lift my desolation? He asked, his back to her.
Cringer cute.
Yeah.
So hilarious because I read it differently now. Because I think when I was younger, I was like, I probably interpreted it as, maybe he'll also be sad, or like at least he's pretending to be sad. But this
Yeah.
time I read it as, who will lift my desolation of marrying Dame Olga? Because his back is turned, he's not looking at her. I was like, that's hilarious.
Oh, interesting.
I don't know if that's what she meant, but that's how I read it this time, and it was so funny.
I love that. Because I took it as the way you said described first, and his back was turned because he's just like, "Ugh,"
Hmm.
and he doesn't want her to see his face. But now that you're saying it, I think exactly how you described it. That is the right way.
I love
Okay.
it. I think it could work either way, but I really liked that.
Yeah. Cringer, cute, or hilarious?
Hilarious.
Hilarious. Okay. Perfect. My
Um,
next question.
oh,
Oh,
yes.
go.
No, no, you ask your next question.
My next question is when they're selling all the furniture and all of the mother's jewelry, and Ella's basically like, we wouldn't touch any of mother's jewels. Father would have known if so much as a brass pin had been missing. And she's like, anyway, none of them equaled the necklace that Hattie took. And I was like, wouldn't he know about her necklace? Wouldn't that be like the first thing he looks for? Her elvish made
Good
fancy necklace?
question. I mean, maybe he assumes it's still with Ella, but maybe he'd want to sell it, is what you're saying.
Well, Mandy gave it to Ella.
Oh, maybe the mom always wore it underneath her clothes.
She didn't even want Sir P to know.
I know, for good reason, it turns out. Because maybe she got it
Interesting.
later. Maybe that could be it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Also, how I'm imagining Dame Olga in all of these scenes is as Barbara Jean from Reba. Just this like crazy blonde hair, these like ridiculous antics.
That's how I want to imagine her now.
How did you imagine her?
Um, I don't know. I feel like my imagination for this book isn't always the best. Or I'm like, I don't even know how I would imagine that. Honestly, I kind of imagine it is, do you remember that character from Final Fantasy? Who's kind of like a blue blob. Oh, that's not it. It would have like a pink dress.
Blue blob and a pink dress. Queena?
Maybe. Oh yeah,
Uh,
Queen. Queena is kind of how I imagine her.
For people who don't know, describe it.
She's kind of a blob. She has a really big chef's hat on. I didn't remember that detail. Her tongue is just always hanging out. And she's got like an apron on. I mean, this is nothing how she's described, but in my mind.
This is more like Olive, probably.
Yeah, maybe this is more of Olive.
This is more Olive. But just so people know, Queena from this game, this character, all it does is eat. It eats the monsters, it eats the people.
Are you kidding?
Yeah. Oh my God, that's so funny. Okay. No, I always imagine Burbagine. And then
You
I
always
imagine
did?
well, maybe not. But this time that's how I did it. So, but I did always imagine that their wigs were like the British Parliament wigs, but blonde,
Oh, that's funny.
just like ridiculously thick and just look so bad.
Oh my gosh, her descriptions are so good.
Yes. So there was some imagery that I wanted to point out.
Ooh.
So the last time we were at the old castle where Dame Olga and Sir P are getting married is at Ella's mom's funeral.
Okay. Yeah.
And there's this scene where, so this is what it says. When we arrived, father went in straight away to see the details of the ceremony and of the masked ball that would follow. I slipped into the garden to visit the candle trees, which, devoid of their leaves, resembled rows of skeletal arms bent at the elbow. The last time we saw these candle leaves is when she made her wish.
Oh, that's
And they
right.
were full of life.
Whoa, that's a good detail. I totally missed that.
And now they're dead.
Wow. Yeah, they are.
Yeah. I saw that and I was like, big brain moment coming in.
It's been 20 years since I've read this.
Yes.
Picking up on everything now.
Yes. And if you think about it, because I was like, there's something with this that Gail put the funeral of Sir P's first wife at the same place as the wedding of his new wife.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. Didn't that happen in Elantris or something? Yeah. That was what happened. They had the funeral for one person. They said it'll be so cute to have the wedding right after the funeral.
They're like, we can reuse the flowers.
Yes. Remember that? Like this sounds familiar. Yeah. No, I think there's some good imagery there. I mean, and it seems like every big event happens because Ella was also brought to the castle soon after she was born for like whatever. That's just what you do to show them to the king.
Well, there's the main castle and then there's the old castle.
Oh, okay.
So this is the old castle, which I'm assuming they retired it for banquets and weddings and events.
Oh, okay.
Now,
Yeah,
maybe this is the only place that you have events in Frau. Is at
maybe.
the old castle. Maybe that's like the thing.
Mm. That made me laugh because Dame Olga is like, let's have the wedding in your beautiful, luxurious manner. And meanwhile, Sir P is like quickly selling everything on Facebook Marketplace, trying to pay off his debt. He's like, no, really, we should go to the castle. And she's like, okay, so romantic. I was like, a castle would be way more expensive. Like, is Dame Olga paying for this?
I know Dame Olga doesn't even realize that she's just getting a big bill for this wedding.
Oh my gosh, that made me laugh so much because, okay, so jumping a little bit ahead, we can go back. But after they're married, they're on their carriage ride back to their house, and Lucinda's given them the gift of like always being in love. And so they're all like
Yes.
cozy and stuff. And then Dame Olga is like, not that it matters, but I am just curious. How rich are we now? And then Sir P says, I come to you a poor man with only myself to offer. I hope that is enough. Like, oh, so you know for sure that's not enough for this lady.
This lady is a bottomless pit of gluttony.
She is Queena.
She is. Yes. Okay, so what do you think about Lucinda's gift? Do you think in another more traditional marriage of love that it would have been a good gift?
What I think, and one of the things this book brings up well is like you can't be forced in, or like it's not good to be forced into things. And so I
Hmm.
think the wish would, or the gift would never be good because if you're forced to love somebody, then you do really love them, you know.
Yeah.
But
Hmm.
it is interesting though, seeing like what does love mean under this wish because it doesn't mean that they love each other well. It really just means that they having to have like warm fuzzies, but they still don't like each other, you know?
Well, I think you can certainly love someone without liking them.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so too.
Sometimes that can happen. I think how I interpret it is just like that feeling when you're away from your partner and you have that longing.
Mm.
It's like almost like an invisible tether. So if we think back to Euaxi at the Giants,
Mm.
they kind of had, again, maybe an invisible tether, but like a physical one where they had to be in the same room at all
Yeah.
times. And in this one, they kind of have an invisible tether because if they're not near each other, you have that longing and that pining and that pangs of like, I want to be with this person, but I can't.
Yeah. I think that's a really good interpretation of it. I think that is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Of all the gifts, I thought this one was the best one that she's given.
Well, yeah. Unless you hate the person
But then you don't, you love the
that you're
person.
forced to love.
Well, it's so funny because that's another line I pulled out was Sir P, he's like tying his shoes, getting ready to go on his long merchant adventure. And Ella's like, please don't leave me here with these people. And he goes, I prefer to love my wife from afar. I will not return soon. I'm like, gosh, so awful.
Yes.
But yeah, what do you think of the gift?
I felt like it was very fitting for these two people who were both trying to use each other,
Mm,
get outfitted with a gift that make them stuck with each other forever.
yeah.
Because even if they married someone else, they'll always be thinking about this other person, even though they don't want to.
Oh, that's a good point. Although
Yeah.
I don't know if in this world they really could like, get unmarried. Maybe they could.
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah. Okay. So now we're on the date. I I felt like all the scenes with Char and Ella, to me, they just feel so organic and like natural
Yes.
of young love at that time.
Mm-hmm. All cute, no cringe. It's done
All
so
cute.
well.
It, it just, yeah, it just feels right because it's like they're both being like a little timid, but also, you know, kind of doing a little bit of that dance of you don't want to reveal your hand and feel
Yeah.
embarrassed because you're young and you've never done that before. It
Yeah.
just felt great.
Yeah. And they're just like being playful and like it seems like they're being their real selves around each other. And like
Mm-hmm.
they're trying to get to know each other in like a really real way that most of the other people in the book are all very materialistic. Or I guess just mainly Dame Olga and like Sir P and Hattie and Olive. Or like they only care about money and stuff, but it's like they actually care about each other as people.
Mm-hmm.
So sweet.
So my next, if you're good to move
Hmm.
to the next part,
Like the next summary or the next scene.
the next scene.
Okay, yeah, let's do it.
Okay, so now we're Char's trying to call on Ella,
Oh,
but
this was awful.
Hattie has her locked away so that she can try to like work her charms. But
Yeah.
my question is where is Sir Pete? Because he has not left at this point, and he wants to marry Ella off to someone rich, and he can see that there's like some mutual attraction between him and the prince, or her
Hmm.
and the prince. And so then the prince is coming 3, 4 days in a row. He seems like he should be able to know that the prince is coming and wants to speak to Ella.
That's interesting. That's a good point. I have no idea where he and Dame Olga are. Did they go on a honeymoon? Is he still moving stuff out of his manor?
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe is he doing local merchant things?
It's possible that he's just totally gone. But
Yeah.
I just find it so crazy that
Yeah, only the kids are
he,
in the house.
only the kids are in the house. And even if he didn't know that Char was coming every day, why wasn't he trying to like set them up?
Yeah, the way that they become friends is kind of strange because did they not talk until the mom's funeral? And it's like, how did they become so close? Like that was one thing I was like, oh, wow, that was quick.
Mm-hmm.
But so like maybe the dad is just totally unaware that Ella and him are friends. Although actually he saw them at the end of the wedding.
Yeah, he saw them at the end of the date and he
Yeah.
says, "Oh, Ella, you're quite the flirt," or he says something like that. Another conquest.
Yeah. That's a great question. I don't know. I mean, unless it's like he can't really call the prince over because he's the prince.
It just seems like if Dame Olga thinks that she can get Hattie and the prince together, certainly Sir Peter could think of a way to get Ella and the prince together.
Yeah. I have no idea. My take on it is that he's just totally not there, and so he just really has no idea that any of this is going on.
He might just be so distraught that he's now in love with Dame Olga
I think
and
so.
he's just trying to pack up his stuff and get out of town.
That's kind of my take on it. He's got a lot of other things going on. For the moment, he can't even think about this.
Yes.
So, but yeah, she doesn't really address that. Also, like none
Yes.
of the other servants or anything come by. Like Mandy doesn't come by and is like, "Oh, let me go get Ella for you."
Right.
Can't she counter command? Like I feel like they don't use the counter commands as often as they could.
Right. And why doesn't Ella tell Mandy, "Hey, the prince is coming every day to see me and
Yeah,
Hattie's like locking me up in here."
right. I don't know. Yeah, it seemed like there's a few ways possibly that she could get out of this one.
And she could have been like, "Mandy, slip this to Char."
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe do that. I mean, I wonder if she is just so timid of people finding out about her curse that like if Char were like, "Well, why did you stay up there? You didn't have to stay." And then she'd be like in this weird situation or something,
Oh, that's true.
unless she said like,
Hmm.
"Betty locked my door." She's like physically
Yeah.
there. So I wonder if that's it. She's just doesn't want anyone to find out, so she can't tell him.
Yeah.
I don't know. Or she'd
Okay.
be worried about the revenge Hattie would make.
I could see that. Yeah. I could see more of her being like worried about the curse, but that was something where I was kind of like, there's sometimes where I'm like, Ella's not being creative enough, or maybe it's like she's not, and maybe we talked about this before, she's not super strategic.
Yeah, but she sometimes has really clever ideas.
Yeah, she's very witty and she's clever, but she's not, when it comes to like strategic, trying to like outmaneuver people, she's not good at like the political game in that way.
Yeah, it is strange. Okay, another like plot question. Has anyone ever tried commanding her to not be obedient? Like, is that not we just assume that that wouldn't work, but could Mandy say like, just do whatever you want. Don't listen to anybody now.
Well, I think the problem is that it's like an insert and delete. So as soon as someone else, she would do whatever she wanted, but then if someone else gave her another command, it would go on top of it
Yeah. I mean, I could
because that's how like the undos work. If you couldn't undo anything, then if you made a global blanket statement from now till the end of time, then that would always trump anything that came after.
I guess so, but then it's also like she can never tell people about the curse, and no one's like explicitly undone that one.
Right. So if someone said you can tell someone about the curse, then she probably could.
Yeah. Yeah, but like if no one explicitly says you must obey now, couldn't she still follow the one?
Oh,
I don't know. You know,
another question for Gail.
another
Yeah.
question. Yeah, we have a few questions.
We have a couple questions for Gail when she comes onto our podcast for her
Mhm.
interview that she
Yeah.
doesn't know about.
She'll love it.
Yeah, she'll love it. Gail, we have a lot of nitpicky questions for you.
Explain how this magic works.
Yeah, we need more details for this child's book. There was a lot of funny moments. So Hattie's explaining to Mom Olga about Ella's obedience. What a clever daughter I have, Mom Olga beamed at Hattie. As clever as she is beautiful, I said. They both began to answer me and stopped, confused. Hattie isn't pretty, Olive said.
Oh my gosh. So pretty. I love it.
What do you think about, so Hattie's horrible because she's just so bossy and like commands Ella to do menial, horrible tasks.
Well, and she's like evil in some ways.
And she's evil. Yeah. But Olive is just like a pit of attention.
Yeah.
Which is worse?
I think Hattie's worse because she's doing it on purpose. You know, like she seems to be of the right kind of mind, or she can choose to make good or bad decisions, and she's choosing mean decisions.
Mm-hmm.
And Olive is like just kind of copying Hattie. Like she doesn't seem as with it.
No, Olive's definitely not. She's not high up on that bell curve when it comes to intelligence. But she does like make, because most of the time she just asks for, tell me a story, like hang out with me, play with me, give me attention. But then she's also like, give me all your money.
Oh my gosh. All she wants is money and attention. Yeah. But I think she's kind of just copying whatever Hattie and Dame Olga do. Because I think if Dame Olga and Hattie were to flip and be like, oh my gosh, Ella, I'm so sorry. We'll like wait on you for a day. I think Olive would be like, oh, okay, yeah, me too.
Yeah.
So she's just
you feel like Olive doesn't have as much agency.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Gosh, they're both so awful though.
Another question that came up to me when I was reading this is that Ella's having to mop the floors, do all these chores, and it sounds like it's the worst and it's horrible. And Hattie and Mom Olga are being so horrible and cruel to her. But if Ella wasn't doing it, someone else would have been doing it.
Mm.
So why is it that it's so menial and horrible to Ella, but Ella's walked by people using lye to scrub the floors since forever?
Mm-hmm. That's a good question. I mean, I think she kind of addresses it a little bit because at one point Ella thinks like, I wish I were a real servant so I could leave and find better work. And so there's some level of like, if your job is to, you know, serve or to clean or whatever, it's like one way or another, you ended up in this line of work and you probably have a choice of being there or finding other work. Potentially there's no other work and you are kind of stuck there. And that is a bummer. But you are getting like paid for your work.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like there's some more, I think it goes back to agency. Whereas Ella has been like forced into this and she's not getting a fair return for her work. And she like signed up for this. So I think that's kind of what makes it different. But I mean, yeah, you have a good point.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's definitely not one to one. It's not one to one. But I think something I would have maybe liked to have seen was have Ella have some empathy for the servant people that have worked for her all of these years. And she's just walked by and never noticed.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, she never really mentions them other than Mandy and like Nancy was a nice or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Although, I mean, Ella was nice to all the
She was always nice. I'm not saying she wasn't
Yeah.
nice to them. I guess what I'm saying is like not have like appreciation for them and like all the hard work that they're doing.
That's true. That's a good point. Would that have like kind of no, never mind. Because I was gonna say, would that have taken you out of the story if suddenly she was like, "Man, I'm so grateful for all those people." But it would have been a nice gesture, and this I think could have fit in the story if like once she's queen or whatever, she's like, "I'm giving all these people a raise," or like, "Here's a Christmas bonus for all you people."
Yeah. And I mean, she did make some of her friends like higher up the food chain, but she didn't do anything to improve the conditions.
I wonder though if do you think Ella's conditions were just unique? Like I don't know if the other servants were asked to like, go on their hands and knees and mop the floor because maybe those aren't things that they would have done, but because Ella would do whatever, they're like, "Oh yeah, sure, do that." Because that
That's
could
possible. That's possible.
I don't know. But to your point too, at the end when she's trying to like disguise herself as a servant, she like rubs it all over her face, and no one seems to think it's out of place. So,
Oh, yeah, that's true.
yeah, so maybe the servants are doing just the same kind of work. Good questions. Add it to the
Yeah.
list.
All right. To the list for Gail.
Yeah.
All right. Have you had any questions thus far?
Um, One question I had, this is super minor, but at the part where Olive does ask Ella to give her money, Mandy's right there. And she's like, "Why do you want a little maid to give you money?" And Olive's like, "Because I want it," or whatever. And then Ella goes and
Mhm.
gets her money. I was like, why didn't Mandy just say, "No, don't give her money"? I guess it's not revealing the curse. I don't know. That was weird. I was like, Mandy.
Maybe my first, my gut instinct was to say that Mandy doesn't want to reveal that she knows about Ella's condition.
Hmm, that's a good idea.
The second one is maybe she doesn't want to get Ella in like
A war.
a no
But
you war. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
Because then that'll just never stop.
Hmm.
Mandy really does not help her like she could, even without the magic.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, because couldn't she even just like send Ella out to go get groceries or whatever, you know,
Yeah.
and like be out of house all day?
Yeah.
That'd be nice. Maybe she did sometimes. We're only getting little anecdotes,
That's true. That's true. We're not getting every day of the 1 year of servitude.
yeah, I kind of do feel like that sometimes. So yeah. Any other questions from this section? Who's a worse father, Sir Peter or Count Olaf?
Oh, I think Count Olaf because I don't think Sir P, I don't think he wants Ella to die. I don't think he would be willing to kill her for money,
Probably true.
but neither one's very good. What do you
Happy
think?
Father's Day. It was Father's Day yesterday.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I think Count Olaf is also worse because he's kind of more directly doing evil things to the children, but Sir Peter also kind of does some evil stuff, like trying to marry her off to an 80-year-old, like that's and make her eat the magic mushrooms. I mean,
The mushrooms are pretty bad. That's
mushrooms are
pretty bad.
he just drugged his daughter. Like that's pretty bad. And then he
That's
leaves
pretty
her.
bad.
He doesn't take her on his journeys, even though she asked.
Do you wonder why he doesn't take her?
I think he doesn't want her there. And also maybe she could like kind of be in the way of all of his business and stuff.
Mhm.
That's kind of what I
Yeah.
think. Or maybe he would think that Dame Olga would be like, "Oh, that's a great idea. You should take Hattie and Olive too." And then that would just be the worst forever.
Hmm.
So yeah, that's kind of my thought. But yeah, Sir Peter is pretty awful.
He's pretty bad.
Yeah.
What do you think of Char's temper that he reveals to Ella in his
Hmm.
letters?
Um, I mean, everybody's got to have a fault. Ella can be really stubborn and
Hmm.
kind of mean sometimes. I mean, I don't. Let's see. Well, he just got. Oh, are you talking about like when he fired the tutor and made sure he never taught again? Yeah, I mean,
Hmm.
I don't like that. I wonder though if him looking back on it, he's like, oh, I wouldn't do that again. Like I feel bad that I did that when I was 12 or whatever, but I wouldn't do that now.
I think he said, if I even think about it now, I get mad.
Yeah. Well, that's true. Yeah, I wouldn't love that. I wouldn't love that. I do feel like the things he gets mad at though are like when his family is attacked. I'm like, if you're gonna get mad at anything, I would allow that one.
Hmm.
But yeah, I mean, I don't love anger.
Well, so Ella says the same thing you say. So in response, she's like, Mandy says there are two sorts of people in the world, those who blame everyone else and those who blame only themselves. I place myself in a third category, among those who know where the blame really lies, which I'm like, okay, girl, who made you
Perfect.
the supreme judge of morality? And she says, you stand condemned. Your crime, too much zeal in the protection of those you love, a fault and a virtue, heinous, which I think it's a very nice, like, kind reply.
Yeah.
I guess it's accurate. I
Do
would
you wish,
probably say the same thing. I don't think she really thinks she's the judge of the world.
yeah, probably true. Do you wish she had come down a little bit harder or like kind of took more of a stance of like, that's not right. You shouldn't do that.
I think maybe in terms of like, if you're like telling a moral in a story, I kind of wish that maybe. But in reality of what's realistic, and I think why I like this book is that if I were writing a letter, that's what I would say.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be like, time for a lesson, kids.
Yeah. Don't have the Bonnie Garmoose coming out.
Yeah. Yeah. I like how it's even when there's like opportunity for, oh, maybe we could insert like this, or I could insert my ideas here or there, which a lot of authors do. I think there's a lot of temptation for that. I
Yeah.
feel like Gail does a good job of preserving the dialogue to be realistic of what people would say to young teens in love.
That's a really good point. I think that is part of why this book is just so incredible. Like it does all
Yeah.
feel really real. And yeah, you're not getting like overly, moralized things.
Hmm.
I really like that.
Yeah.
All right, are we ready for the next section?
Ready.
Okay. So this section is the balls from chapter 26 to 28.
Okay.
So we left off with Mandy telling Lucinda to try being a squirrel for 3 months and being obedient for 3 months. And Ella has been waiting for, Lucinda to come back. So hopefully she can get rid of the curse. So after 6 months, Lucinda comes back sobbing because she realizes how awful her gifts are. She disavows big magic, even when Ella comes out and begs her to remove the curse. So instead of doing big magic to remove it, Lucinda promises to come to Ella's aid if she ever says the words. Char is also coming back and is going to hold 3 balls so he can find his wife. Hattie, Olive, and the Queen are all excited and talk of nothing else. Ella eventually decides that she can go too, but will stay masked the whole time, so no one will know that she's there, but she'll be able to see Char. She goes to the first ball and calls on Lucinda for help to get there. Lucinda makes a carriage and horses out of a pumpkin and mice. Nice callback to Cinderella.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Layla, as she calls herself, woos the prince and he wants to spend each ball with her. He confesses that he has resolved to never marry, and Layla says, that's okay. I just like being here. While they're dancing, I was like, that's kind of a weird response. She's like, I'm just collecting
Okay.
stories. I'm like, oh, weird.
All right.
Or anything. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird. But anyways, while they're dancing, Hattie comes up and tears off Layla's mask. And before she can hide her face, everyone sees that it's really Ella.
Dum, dum, dum.
Oh.
Okay. Number one question. Do you think Ella went with the intention of making herself known?
I think no, just because she did seem really resolved that like she would be a danger if she and Char ended up together. Although I could see her wanting to kind of like be honest and be like, I didn't actually marry that old guy. I could see her wanting
Yeah.
that to come to light.
I think to me, it's like the thing where it's like there's the reason you tell people, and then there's the real reason.
Yeah.
And I think the reason she told people, she's like, I'm just gonna go just to like, you know, button up the chapter, do my last thing. But I feel like deep down she wanted to be found out.
But then what would happen next? What would she want to happen next?
I think at her core, she didn't really want to break his heart and do all those things.
Yeah.
And so I feel like this was a way of her to like maybe try to undo that letter she wrote.
Right. I mean, I could get that. But I
And
think
my biggest piece of evidence, aside from the fact that she changed her name from Ella to Layla,
clever.
although maybe you could say like that would make it easier for her to like recognize the name because it's similar.
Yeah, I actually like it.
I like it too. Is that she wore the glass slippers.
Oh, I know. She had no other nice shoes
And she said you can't even see them because they're under the petticoats. So I was like, well, why wear them at all?
because
You can't see your shoes.
she likes the shoes. They feel good. They're so comfortable.
I feel like it's because deep down she wanted to get caught.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that. I think deep down, if she wasn't able to break the curse, her next best ideal plan would be she kind of gets caught, and Char's like, "Oh my gosh, I love Ella, and she's not married. This is amazing." Char comes running back, and then Mandy's there, and then Mandy can kind of tell Char what's going on and why they can't be
Mm-hmm.
together, and so then it ends on a good note. I could see that
Yeah.
being her like next ideal plan.
Yeah. I don't know that I don't know if it's like one of those things where it's like you're not willing to admit to yourself that your reasons for going are like really selfish. But her going to the ball was very selfish.
I mean, yeah, I could
She
see her
broke
like,
this man's
mm,
heart. Then he sees that like they have this connection
mm.
and he keeps seeking her out and she keeps going.
Yeah. She does have some lines where I'm like, ooh, where it's like, I forget how she phrased it, but it was like, I can't let the other woman win him over or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean,
I'm
I
like
get why, but
I get why too. And I think that's why it's so good because I would feel like that also.
yeah, I think so.
But it's a very selfish reason. She wants this man to have nothing. She broke up with
Yeah.
him and now she's going to this ball where he's on The Bachelor and she's trying to sabotage all the other bachelorettes.
Take all the roses.
Take all the roses. Yeah.
Gosh. Yeah. I mean, on a nicer reading of that, it could be, she really broke his heart and she wants to try to like kind of repair that so that he also feels better, even if they can't be together. Yeah.
But why would introducing a new woman that he has a connection with that he can't be with help repair his heart?
Well, I think like if she got found out and then they
Yeah.
kind of like tie the knot there, I guess that was a bad phrase, but like
Yeah.
close the circle.
Close the loop.
Close the loop. Yeah. So like maybe that could
Yeah.
be it. It turns out that he vowed not to get married, which I'm like, I didn't know you could do that. I didn't know that was an option for you.
Okay, so I took that to be because he said, I plan not to get married, and then he's going to ask her something, and then the mask comes off. I think what he was going to say, I plan not to get married for love, but I would be willing to do an arrangement
Oh, I didn't even
of
think about
friendship.
he was gonna ask, yeah, I thought he was gonna ask, would you be my friend? Because the line goes, how does the line go? It's something about like, I don't believe in marriage anymore. Friends also last forever. Would you be or like, would you? And then it cuts off.
Yeah, yeah. So I feel like what he was going to say is like, I don't, I'm not going to fall in love with anyone. I'm not going to have love in my life. It's not going to work out for me, which is so teenage. Like
Ella's the only one.
the only one out of everyone in the world. I can find no one else. I've dated one person and got dumped and my life is over. So a life of celibacy. But like having some kind of arrangement. That's what I never took it that way until reading it again as an adult.
Okay. I didn't interpret that either, but I could
Mhm.
see that because yeah, I don't know if it really is an option for him to not get married as the prince.
You can't be the king and not sire and heir.
What a nice way to put
I know.
it. Yeah, man. Any other? I have a line that I think is so
Go
fun.
for it.
All right. So we do get that Ella's fairy book is kind of invasive because this is now like the third time that she's reading Char's private diary. And the first time was when he was like spilling the beans of like how he feels now that Ella has betrayed him. And I was like, oh gosh, that definitely wasn't meant for you to see. Uh,
Yeah.
but now he's like recounting how all the balls are going. And he talks about Hattie. Um, and when Hattie goes up to him after Char has just danced with Layla, Hattie goes, if I were sovereign, I'd order her to remove her mask. And then Char says, or he thinks, if you were sovereign, every Kyrian would wish you'd don one. Hilarious.
I'm just now realizing when you read that to me that Dawn one, for whatever reason, I was taking that as you died. But I'm realizing it means put on a mask.
It's so funny. Oh my gosh.
Oh my God. When he wrote, does Ella and then scratch out Layla want more than friendship? I was like, boop.
Yeah, I know. Come
I
on.
love, I don't have the line underlined, but there's like the part where they go to hold hands for the first time for their dance and like their hands knew each other.
Yeah.
And I was like, that is so real.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder like if I would know.
It was Andrew.
It is Andrew. Yeah.
I feel like a lot of ways you could. Potentially there's someone else whose hands are pretty similar, but I feel like overall, I feel like, you know, you know.
If I was being scientific about it, I feel like your brain brings in like a lot of like senses and information that you're not consciously thinking about, but you're picking up on like subconsciously.
Yeah.
So there might be mannerisms or this or textures or feels or shapes. And your brain's like, oh, you know that.
Yeah.
So
I
I could see that.
yeah. Man. Was Char like the standard of guy when you were reading this where you're like, wow, I need a Char in my life?
Yeah.
So good.
I like how Gail introduces that he's not perfect
Yeah. I do like
and that
that.
he has his own faults. And so
Mhm.
does Ella. And I like that.
Me
They're
too.
not perfect people, they're
Yeah.
flawed. Makes them more interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. Man. And even reading it now, I'm like, man, Char is still just so great. Like,
I know.
holds up.
So great. Olive's letter to Hattie, all misspelled. You owe me 6 KJs. I danced with him 2 times when you were eating. Pa me.
So funny. Oh my God. I love seeing that. Poor Olive. Man. One of the
Olive
oh yeah,
gets one of the best endings.
that's true. Probably good for her. She had probably the best intentions out of the three of them. So I had another nostalgia moment because
Mm-hmm.
there's a joke in here where I'm like, I've said that joke knowing that it was from Ella Enchanted because I just thought it
Ooh,
was funny. And it
ooh.
was when she's dancing with Char, and of course she's still masked, and they're talking about something. Oh, he asked if she likes to slide down banisters, and she said, "No, she can't give herself away." So she's like, "Oh no, I don't like doing that." And he was like, "Oh," and then she had to like draw him back in, and so she said that she's scared of heights, which has become a problem because she's grown so tall. And I'm like, I've definitely said
Yes.
this before. Like maybe not about myself because I'm not tall, but to other people who are tall, it's so good.
Do they laugh?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's at least like a little joke, a little laugh,
I I think it's like a witty comment. If someone said that, I'd be like tickled.
right? I didn't think of it. It was all Gail.
You know what? That's okay.
Yeah.
When Ella's dressed in her last outfit and she's planning on staying past midnight, so Mandy got her jewels, and she said, I looked in the mirror. Mandy's selections added something that Lucinda's creations hadn't. Just right for my gown and just right for me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, aw,
Andy knows her.
so sweet. What did you think of Queen Daria putting Char on blast,
Oh
saying,
my gosh.
I've waited long to meet the maiden my son loves?
I was like, what? At max, he's known her for 3 days.
I know.
I was like, how uncomfy. Do you
Oh
think
my
that's what
God.
Gail was going for though? Was like the mom who like oversteps the first date and you're like, oh my gosh.
I know. She's just letting Ella know, listen, I'm going to be a crazy mother in law. Buckle up.
Oh my gosh. And I guess he hasn't communicated his like his decision to not get married, unless it's what you're saying. He won't get married for love. He'll get married for.
That's what I'm saying. Cause I'm like, there's there's no way that he can intend to be king if he's not going to get married. It's just not going to work out.
Yeah. What a wild time if Char had this terrible breakup and he was like telling his dad, he's like, oh yeah, like the girl I love has broken up with me, broken my heart. And then his dad's response is like, I'm gonna make you meet every single girl in the country. And you're gonna get
Honestly,
over it and you're gonna find a new wife.
okay, that is kind of crazy, but if you think about it, it's like on its front, it sounds crazy, but if you think about it, it's actually not that crazy because you're like, you're hung up on this one girl. There are so many of these one girls. I'm going to
Mhm.
invite them all here.
Every single one of them. You'll have your
Every
pick.
single one of them. Yeah. And you're going to see that there are a lot of options for you. And that's what I would do. I'd be like, you need to go out and see the world. Like, your world's too small if you think that there's this one person on the entire planet for you.
Well, joke's on him. He chose the same girl twice.
Okay, what would happen if that girl infiltrated your party and made you fall in love again? I would be like, this is like a psycho stalker. Like, she dumped me, made up this lie, snuck back in with another lie to dump me again. Like, justice for Char. He did not deserve this.
No wonder he's so angry.
Honestly, I would have anger management problems too if I got dumped and someone snuck in to dump me again.
We need like a reality show based off this story.
And they read my diary. So you
Oh
got
my
also.
Honestly, did Ella ever come clean about that?
I know that she's been like reading your private thoughts this whole time.
Oh my gosh, I don't think so. I don't think.
All
Well, they're
right,
definitely
I
not perfect.
have no, they're certainly flawed characters. I have a nostalgia line of my own.
Okay.
It's not funny though. It's like a somber one. And Layla's crying and Char's like, "What?" It's like, "Oh my gosh, like are you okay?" And she says, "No more balls every night, Char, but you can come back, can't you?" Layla, I suppose, but it won't be the same. This is the one that I think about. You can never go back to a moment when you were happy.
Oh, I didn't remember that line, but I thought that was so good.
Yeah, I think about that line a lot. Like
Yeah.
whenever I'm having like a really happy moment,
Mm.
Or like when I'm traveling and I see something and it's like really cool, I always like try to like remember like you can't ever go back
Yeah, so like to really enjoy
that
it.
same time. Yeah.
That's a good line. You know what it
Yeah.
reminds me of?
What?
This is a line that I think about fairly often, and
Oh
it's
no.
our favorite author,
Ah!
John Green.
No.
John Green is to me as Housemates is to you.
Housewives.
Oh, that's what I meant. Housewives, yeah.
Yes. Oh my
But
gosh.
in his most recent book, which is nonfiction, it's very, very good. It's called The Anthropocene Reviewed, and he just goes over different topics of life. He talks about home and how home is a place that you can never get back to because we
Mm-hmm.
have this image of home like of when we were like children or something, and it's like you can never get back.
Mm,
Or it's like maybe your home has
yeah.
changed, but it's like you kind of have like this original sense of home, and it's like it's changed.
Oh, that's so interesting.
Oh, good. Oh my gosh, he's
That
amazing.
is a good line.
Really good. So I think of that really often. It's kind of similar.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good book. Would recommend.
All right. Well, maybe we'll put it on the list one day. Okay. Are you gonna take us home?
Gets home. All right. So last little bit. Um, so now Hattie has pulled off Ella's mask. They realize it's her. She races back home and starts packing so she and Mandy can escape Frel and get another scullery job, which Candy said they could have done all along.
It just came to her.
Yeah, in a stroke of genius. Char also runs really quickly and comes after her and brings all of his guards, and Hattie and the crew follow. Even though Ella tries to disguise herself as a maid, Char sees her and confirms it's her because the glass slipper only fits on her foot. Char says, "Marry me," and Ella must say yes because it's a command, but then Hattie issues a counter command. This culminates with Char saying, "Marry me," one last time, and Ella summons the power to say no, and she breaks her curse. Now, with her curse broken, she is free to marry Char, and she says yes. And then we learn in the epilogue that they marry, they stay playful, and they live happily ever after.
Yes. I thought it was really clever that Gail introduced in the very beginning that fairies' feet are very small. They stop
Mm-hmm.
growing. And that Ella has one drop of fairy blood. So that's why her feet are so tiny.
It's so good. It's such a good backstory.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like it all makes all the Cinderella things make sense now.
Well, except for this part.
Oh, which one?
Well, she's running and she loses a shoe. And then she runs all the way home with
Oh
one.
yeah, one high heel.
She has to like climb through a swamp to get back home. Like she has to go so far with one shoe on.
Yeah, I don't know how she's running with heels to begin with. Maybe they weren't heels. I guess they didn't say they were heels in this story. They could have been, I think they're slippers, so I guess they were flat. So that could make more sense. But
Oh, yeah. Maybe they weren't heels.
maybe they weren't heels. Maybe that's a Cinderella movie coming to my mind. Which is
Even more reason why she couldn't just wear any other flats.
yeah, just her normal sandals.
Yeah.
Little sneakers. Me and my kids. I thought it was so funny that Hattie and Olive try it. They're like, "Oh, the shoe will fit me for sure," and like they can't even put their toe in it.
Oh my God. I know. I'm younger than Hattie, Olive said. So my feet are smaller, probably. They were bigger.
Oh my God.
I thought it was so funny that after Ella dumps Char, breaks his heart, infiltrates his party to dump him again, he goes to her house, he proposes, and then she starts shouting, "I'm not going to marry you. I won't marry you." And Char's just there and he's like, "No one said you had to marry me. Like I like if you don't want to marry me, it's okay." And she's like, "I won't. I'll never marry you."
I know. It kind of, the way it's written, it kind of made it seem like it was going on for a few minutes, which is like, gosh, that's uncomfortable. She's like rocking herself and sobbing, and like everyone's just staring at her. Like,
I
oh,
know.
yeah. Like Mandy doesn't, again, Mandy could come in and be like, hey, Char, there's something that we'll need to talk to you about. Like, I can explain what's going on in a few minutes. But no, everyone just stares at
Mandy, Mandy's not going to help him.
her. Mandy said that's too big of magic.
Too big of magic to use my knowledge and do no magic.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I was also a little confused because she starts running back home and then she and Mandy are like, "Oh my goodness, we're in such trouble. We got to leave now." And it's like, what trouble are they really in other than like they snuck or Ella snuck out and like because she's
I
not
think she's
married to
in
Char.
big trouble because she's pretending to be someone else. She infiltrated this ball to dump the priz twice. That, I mean, that is like a federal offense
Maybe that's
to
why
the
he
gallows. I'd send you to the gallows if you dumped my son and then you snuck into his bachelor party to take all the roses to dump him again. Gallows.
Yeah, he does seem remarkably unperturbed by all of this. He's just immediately like, okay, yeah. This is fine. It probably was Hattie's idea to write that letter that was in your handwriting. That's fine.
Well, I think he did think that. I think like for him, like his quick justification in my mind is that he's like Hattie's behind all of this.
Yeah.
She forced Ella to do this, and Ella's like trying to sneak out. So I think for him, it made things make a lot more sense in
That's
how
true.
he previously viewed the world. So I think he was really excited to be able to go back to that version
He went
of
back to his
life.
happy moment.
Yeah. So I feel like it's a lot easier for people to go back to, oh, that's why it makes sense. Everything makes sense now. I don't have to live in this very like sad, uncomfortable place. I'm happy
Yeah.
to go back to the way it was. So
That's a good point. And it actually was true. So it all worked.
did you think it was odd that when they go do all their travels around, they leave their children behind and spy on them with her magic book?
I mean, that's all Ella knew from her father. So I turned out fine. They got Mandy.
Okay. So you're going to be really upset that you returned the edition.
Is there a secret ending?
There is a deleted scene
Oh, no way.
and a conversation with Gail.
Oh, no.
I know you messed up big time.
Darn. I didn't have any of that. But look how pretty.
So I was going to read the different questions and I think we'll only have time for one or two.
Okay. We
But
can skip the Reddit game today because there wasn't anything super juicy.
okay. Okay.
You let me
So
know.
I'll go through the questions and then you'll tell me which ones you want me to read.
Ooh.
Ella Enchanted has been beloved by readers since it was first published. Why do you think Ella continues to inspire readers 20 years later?
Yeah. I mean, I think you just choose the questions you think are most interesting.
Okay.
I know the answer. Should I guess? Is this a game?
I think this is a good one. How do you think people might react to the book differently now than they did when it was first published?
Good question.
Ella Enchanted was released long before the movie script was written. Many kids come to the book these days after watching the movie. When there was just the book, comparisons could be made between it and the quote Cinderella fairy tale. But now a three-way comparison is possible. I like that. Though there isn't much humor in the fairy tale, both the book and movie are loaded with it. However, the humor is different between the book and the movie, and children can consider what the differences are. In an entirely other regard, conditions for women and girls here and globally, I suspect that more than 20 years are needed for big changes to take place. Women and girls still have to buck the odds and stand up for themselves. Perhaps they can remember Ella and use her to realize their own dreams.
Oh, so good. That was such a charitable review on the movie that we all know wasn't good.
So, okay, I was doing some research on Gail and some of her interviews and stuff, and people have said the movie's so bad. Someone said it was a rip off of Shrek,
He said
which
that.
I was like, you're right, it is. They have several scenes that are like one to one for Shrek.
Wow.
And Shrek was done by DreamWorks, which is not Disney.
And Disney did Ella?
Disney did Ella.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And what Gail said, and I thought this was really nice, is she's like, they are two different stories.
They are.
And you can appreciate them for how they are. And I like to think of it as like an interpretation of the book.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, one of my high school teachers said something like that of like, whoever said the movie needs to be like the book? I'm like, you're right. Like, if you take it as a standalone thing, do you like it?
Mm-hmm.
The book is better.
Yes.
But standalone, the movie could be okay too.
Okay. Here's another one that I thought was really good. What is it that draws you to writing fairy tales? What drew you to tell a version of Cinderella in particular? Fairy tales have staying power. Some, like Beauty and the Beast, may go back thousands of years. My guess is it's because they're emotionally profound. In Snow White, for example, readers, and before them, listeners, when the tale was part of oral history, have been fascinated by the evil queen's jealousy and rage. In Rumpelstiltskin, readers care about a mother's love for her child. I want to hitch my writing star to that staying power while imparting a modern attitude. Cinderella shares that same power. The original, unlike my version, is about feeling unappreciated. Cinderella is good and kind under terrible circumstances, and until her fairy godmother shows up, no one gives her credit. Who on earth has never felt undervalued and misunderstood? No wonder the tale continues to hold us. But it's the leaps of logic in fairy tales that I work with for most. For Cinderella, my question was, why is she so obedient and good? What's wrong with her? For me, what turned out to be wrong was the curse. And here's a confession. I have a lot of trouble figuring out a plot from scratch. I've done it more than once, but ouch, it's hard. Fairy tales already have a plot. I just have to hitch a ride, embroider, and weave in detail. Fun.
She's really good at that.
I know.
That is a fun way to write a book too, where it's like, here's a story, now kind of like retell it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
In the back.
Exactly.
I like that.
Okay, last question. You choose. Which other heroines from literature do you admire? Or what is the best response to the book that you've heard from a reader?
Ooh, the second one.
Okay. A year or so ago, a reader wrote on my website's guest book that she first read Ella in third grade, at a time when she received a diagnosis of Tourette's syndrome. She decided to regard the tick commands of her Tourette's just as Ella regards her curse, as an obstacle to be overcome. In time, she made so much progress that today people can't even tell she has the condition. I'm proud to have helped, but most of the credit, of course, goes to this determined real-life heroine.
Oh, that's really sweet.
Yeah, isn't that sweet?
Love Gail.
I know, she's great. Okay, you want to hear some of the potential names
for the book
that were on the draw? Yeah.
Ooh, yeah, I do.
Okay. So when HarperCollins accepted Ella Enchanted for publication, I was calling the book Ella. My editor thought the title wasn't good enough and asked me to list other possibilities. These are the titles I suggested. As you can see, Ella Enchanted wasn't on the list, but Enchanted Ella was. Okay. I'll just go over a couple of them. Spellbound, Spellbinding, Enchanted Ella, Ella's Enchanted, Ella Obey, Charmant and Ella, Ella Against Orders, Ella's Gift, Ella of Frau, Tales of an Obedient Daughter, Obedience Lessons, At Your Command, Ella's Quest.
At Your Command would be interesting.
Yeah. Lucinda's Gift, The Fairy's Gift, At Your Behest, Enthralled, Bound, and Determined.
Yeah, I mean, Ella Enchant is just so good.
I think Gail did one of these techniques that I do when someone says, I like what you suggested, but can you find me other options? And so I find other options, but they're far more subpar than what I selected. So then you're immediately drawn back to what I originally presented because it's the best one by design.
That's so funny. Yeah, that's like what ChatGPT would come up with. Or, oh my gosh, do you want to see what would ChatGPT alternately name?
Yes.
Ella Enchanted?
Yes.
Okay. 5 alternative titles. Cursed with Obedience. The Enchantment of Ella. Pretty close.
Mhm.
Ella's Bewitched Destiny, A Tale of Enchanted Bonds, The Curse and Courage of Ella. Kind of similar vein of her other suggestions.
I think there's really only one title.
I think so too. This is the only one. So how did it flip? Is it because did someone suggest that?
I think they were like, I like Enchanted Ella, but I think Ella Enchanted flows
Close.
better just with like the English language. They probably just
Does.
flipped it.
Good job.
Okay, couple fun facts.
Ooh.
Char's mother is Queen Daria. In Two Princess of Barrymore, or Bamar, the daughter's dead mother was Queen Daria. So when
They're related?
she said, I had no idea I'd repeated the name until a girl asked me about it at a book signing. I was shocked. My editor was shocked. When she recovered
Whoa.
from her shock, she said, well, in every feature book in which there's a queen who's a minor character, you can name her Daria. It'll be your trademark.
Whoa.
And so in Fairest, I named King Ascaro's deceased wife Adaria, which is really Daria because in Iortha, every word begins and ends with the same vowel.
Whoa. Oh
Fun.
my gosh. Wow. What a crossover.
Okay. When Ella's mother is sick, Ella wishes her recovery on a grove of trees in the old castle in Frel. The candelabra that we talked about was dead.
Yeah.
I saw such trees in cloisters in Fort Tryon Park, near where I grew up in New York City. The Cloisters is a museum that you can visit to experience medieval art and architecture. In warm weather, you can walk in the gardens and admire the topiary. So that's
Topiary.
where she got, yeah, that's where she got the um, inspiration for that. She says that she invented the book, Ella's fairy book, so that the reader could find out what people are doing that Ella couldn't possibly know about, which I agree.
It worked very well.
And then we have an unseen scene.
Would I guess what it would be about?
If there was, yeah, guess what? So there's a missing scene. What do you think the information would tell you?
I kind of think it'd be a scene between Ella and Char. I don't really know. I feel like we have all the information we need. Or you know what? Maybe it's between Lucinda and Mandy, and we kind of get more on the ins and outs of the curse because we did have some questions on the mechanics of the curse.
Mm.
That's my guess.
The scene, which was cut from the original novel, takes place on the night before Sir Peter's wedding, and he's tipsy.
Oh man, my next guess was actually going to be it's going to be about the dad. Wow, so what did we
Mm-hmm.
learn from the deleted scene?
Um, it's like 2 pages long, or it's a page long, so I can read it to you, or I can summarize. What would you like?
To summarize, I think.
Okay, so basically, Sir P is he's drunk and he's saying he does not love Dame Olga, and Ella's like, when are you going to tell her that we're poor? He says, after the wedding, I suggest you take refuge in the cellar.
Oh, because she's going to explode.
I think because he knows that maybe.
Or so she's closer to the alcohol.
I was thinking because he knows that she's going to kick her out of the guest room. Like Sir Peter's not surprised about
Maybe.
everything that happens to Ella. And she's like, I'd rather be in the kitchen with with Mandy. And what did she say? Okay. And so he's like, I'm just glad that Dame Olga loves me now. And so Ella asks, why do you care if she loves you? Sir P, I don't care. And once we're husband and wife, I shall try to make her detest me.
Whoa.
He drains the glass.
Oh,
So his plan was for them to get married. He takes half her money and then to run her out the door.
this is some housemaid level stuff.
Yeah, by being horrible.
Yeah.
So
Whoa.
then that makes the curse of them forever being in love even worse.
It undoes his plan. Wow. So good.
Yeah. So the next thing that I like is there's some explanation. So Ella says, "May I travel with you, father?" And then he says, um, she's like, "I could translate, I could do this, I could help you." He says, "A reason for me to take you, but not for you to want to come." And she's like, "I like to travel, this and that." And then he says, "How would you behave when your scoundrel of a father took advantage of his customers?" "I'd be silent. I would argue with you later. The last thing I want is an argument or a child tagging after me. I'm not a child. And worse would be a young woman to have to watch and guard." And so then that's the explanation of why Ella does not get to go with him.
Oh, so you knew the answer when you asked me.
I
That's a
did.
good answer.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, man, such quality writing. I guess she was on a page limit.
I don't know why. I would read everything from this woman.
I
Um,
know. I really would.
all right. So I took up a lot of time.
That's okay. That was really fun.
Okay. Um, what other games do we have? I think we've already talked about the questions that we have for Gail, so we don't have to repeat that.
Do
For the
we want
ratings,
the ratings? I mean, we're already going to give her perfect fives. If we just want to
five,
really
five, 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 five. We know it.
lands the
Okay.
plane. Perfect. So good.
Writing style, excellent. Great themes, perfect.
Yes.
No notes. A couple questions, but no notes.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to know more.
Yeah. Yeah. Give me a prequel to Ella.
Yes.
Give me a sequel. Give me anything.
Give me anything. I know.
I have a question.
Maybe we do. Oh, yes.
Oh, well, I have a question for you. And then did you want to do read it like Reddit? If
Sure.
not, that's okay. Okay, so question for you is on our last episode, we guessed how much did we remember from the second half of the book?
Oh.
And we both said around 6 or 7 out of 10. Is that accurate? What do you think?
I would say I remembered the back half more than the front half.
Oh, really?
I think it was like 8.5, maybe.
Whoa. I think I remembered 10% of what happened.
Really?
All of it, I was like, what's gonna happen next?
Oh.
I was mixing the movie in because in my mind, I'm like, oh yeah, she's gonna be asked to kill Char because that's what happens, spoiler, in the movie. So
Oh,
I'd
yeah.
forgotten that happened. I maybe if you asked me, I would have remembered about the letters back and forth. I mean, all of it though. I forgot about Lucinda trying the curses.
Oh.
Forgot about all of it.
If if you ask me anything about that movie, I would say I don't know anything.
I've never seen it.
I honestly, I'd be like, I've never seen it. The only thing I remember was the Giants, where she was the size of a thimble.
Yeah, she was so tiny. Yeah, she has this whole song and dance routine. No, I remember the murder scene.
I don't even remember. It was like the crown was like poison, maybe. Or is that
But
Miss Congeniality?
that might be another movie, but maybe I feel like that wasn't a movie. But no, I'm thinking about all the mirrors. There's all these mirrors around, and she has to kill Char. So she brings a knife with her, and she's about to kill him, but then yeah, she like makes herself not do it. Um, yeah, maybe it was the king who wanted to kill Char. I like they did change the plot.
It would be great if Gail could get someone to make the movie a little bit closer to the book.
Yes, I would crowdsource it.
Yeah, honestly, I'd be like, okay, I need to
Apocalyptic
see this.
sponsors.
Oh, we forgot to say that we got another 5-star review.
Yay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you to whoever
Appreciate
did it. We don't know you because you didn't leave a note, but it's not too late.
it. Email is always open.
Email's always open. You can always drop a comment on Spotify or Apple, wherever. Um, yeah. So what's our next book going to be?
Well, didn't you say whatever that was, such a bad influence?
Yeah, unless you want to do tomorrow.
I haven't finished it yet, but it is very good. What book would you compare it to, if you had any comparisons?
It's like a much better written housemaid.
Hmm. So is it like a page turn? Like once I start reading it, it's like I'm just gonna
Yeah.
want to read all of it. Okay,
Yeah.
can do
Yeah.
that. Yeah. So anything else on the book?
No, I think that's it. I can't believe we did another 2 hours.
It's just it's worth it. The one last thing that did come up on Reddit a few times, I'm like, that's the same feeling I
Oh,
had too, was people were like, this is a book I'd want my kids to read. I'm like, yeah, this is
yes.
such a good book. Such good
Yes.
lessons. So fun, so witty.
Loved it.
Yeah. All right, those are my closing thoughts.
They were great. I co-sign. Love this book.
Perfect.
Amazing.
Read it to your cats.
Ah,
All right, so don't forget to like and follow and send us an email and all the things. You can email us at bookalicious.pod@gmail.com and follow us on all the things, like Candy said.
yeah. Yeah, that's right. And if you have any book recommendations, drop us a note.
Let us know,
We're doing this by the seat of our pants.
as you can tell.
Yeah, so if you have a book, let us know.
Sounds good. All right, love
Okay. Love you. Bye.